A very good morning. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning, guys. A very good morning to everyone. So, the YouTube people are engaged in chatting. It's fine. And this privilege is not there on Zoom or our app. So, unless the class begins, you cannot chat, I believe. Huh? So till the class begin, you cannot chat. I'm good. Namaste, namaste, namaste to everyone. Namaste. I'm very good. I hope you all are very good. And good morning. Good morning. Yes, good morning. Okay. Vanakkam. Vanakkam. Vanakkam, bachcho. Good morning. Okay, hola. Hola. And, in fact, hola, I remember when we were in Italy, at that time, they used to say ciao, ciao, ciao. Ciao means good, happy, ciao, ciao. Nalla, ekina, ekinda, ekainda. Very good morning, good morning. Okay, how is ciao in Telugu means to die. Oh my gosh, no. Ciao in Spanish means happy, I think. Happy, well, good. That is ciao. Ciao in Telugu means die. Okay, ciao means ciao in Hindi. Okay, bachcho, yesterday we discussed about the muscles, I believe, right? Now please remind me the last thing that you have done in muscles. I remember because I have to start with the neurons today. I explained you the very, the meaning of the muscle fiber and the relation between the muscle fiber and the whole muscle. That means this is a muscle. Generally, we understand the muscle to be. We also believe the skeletal muscles, We also eat the skeletal muscles, right? So those who are non-vegetarian eaters, okay, so we the main thing that is food in non-veg food is the muscles, particularly skeletal muscles of a bird, that is a chicken, or of a goat. Skeletal muscles, right? And there are striations or stripes, already they are attached to the skeleton and they are voluntary in action. We can control their contraction. On the other hand, the smooth muscle, they don't have those lines or stripes. They form the wall of the visceral organ, so we can call them as visceral muscles, right? And number three, they are involuntary muscle because we cannot control their contraction. But then we have a type of muscle in the body which look like skeletal, but they are not skeletal, right? But they look like skeletal and they work like smooth. They look like skeletal and work like smooth. Come on. Yes, TS of muscle. Very good, beta. Very good. TS of muscle, I'm going to ask. Yes, the correct answer is very good. I will say the name again. Okay. I want to see the YouTube people to answer here and then I can. Yes, you are right, Jagdish, Gori, cardiac. But first time I have faced a problem. First time. Before that also, I've been telling my name to the students, and unlike the people out there, when where I come from, unlike they are the very naughty people. Here, people are not that naughty. Here, students are very much respecting type. So they have my number. I've almost in every batch last so many years, my number is there. But no one has ever disturbed me. No one has ever disturbed me. Yesterday, immediately after the class, I got a call. No response. I understood. After some time, another call. I think that was, I was taking the doubts of my long-term students. I didn't pick up. I canceled the call. Last night, around 11:30, I believe, another call. That time I picked up, okay, maybe it's something important a student has to say, because the moment I see it is unknown number, mostly students only call me. And I told you guys that the number is for WhatsApp chatting. Then the other person initially didn't speak and then said, sir, I am Goshalite student. And then he has to talk anything to me. And he said about the fees concession. Today, a last list has come and my name was not there. Any other way of getting the, this is in the night. That too to an academic person who, because these admin people, they are supposed to tell, because they are the people who are changing the rules of how much discount to offer. There is no discount, in fact, in coaching institutes, education institutes. There is only, we can give some fee, we can say fee waiver or something. We call it scholarship, a small amount. So whatever the amount is, small or medium, that I am not aware of, and I don't want to comment on that. Talking to me because I cannot help you out. First time I found that I did a mistake in giving my number. What is happening after some time, the moment I find such notorious people, I block them. ठीक है, थोड़ा समय लगेगा. I will block till all these guys are blocked. I will stop getting the. I know, not everyone, beta. I know. What I'm saying, the last so many years I am here. This is my 8th year in Andhra, in particularly this Vijayawada. My dear children, so cardiac muscles are the one which look like skeletal and work like smooth muscle, visceral muscle, right? Very good. And there are also striations, stripe, dark and light band. And you know that the cardiac muscles, they are not in our voluntary control. We cannot contract the heart. We cannot let the heart beat just by thinking. Now, while I was finishing my class, I got something like this. I was making this diagram. This diagram was there on the screen, and I said that there are dark and light band. And I also did like this. I am starting today's class with this point, and these are the nuclei. Bachon, the skeletal muscle is characterized by many nuclei, right? So there are multiple nuclei in the skeletal muscles. Remember, this is a skeletal muscle fiber. Skeletal muscle fiber. Fiber means the cell. It is a cell, and there are many nuclei, more than one, many nuclei, right? Now this type of condition in animal cell, we call it as syncytial or syncytial or syncytial. Now, why we call it syncytial? The word has been made from the roots, like one is syn means fused and cyto means cell. Syn means fused. Syn means fused and cyto means cell. It says that the cells are fused together. Cells are fused together. For example, the original cell, right now you see it like this, but the original cell was not in this way. For example, the original cell must be having many cells with one nucleus. As you can see here, many cells with one nucleus. And what has happened now? What has happened because of the fusion of the cell? You'll find that one cell is having more than one nuclei. Now, fusion means the partition in between the two cells. This partition is dissolved, and as a result, the two cells, they are fused together. For example, now if the last two cells are fused, you will end up in having this type. So this cell is having more than one nuclei because their central partition is now dissolved. Now similarly, if another septum is fused, septum means partition, and another septum is fused, you will find that the cell end up in having more than one nuclei. This is how the cells are fused together to form the long skeletal muscle cell, a skeletal muscle fiber. So always remember, skeletal muscle fiber means cell, fiber means cell. This is the only cell which is syncytial or multinucleated. Okay, many nuclei means multinucleated, or it is syncytial. Now originally there are more than one cell. For example, right, on the screen that you see, this one fiber originally had around 5 cells. 5 cells were there and they were independent and they were contracting. When the nerve impulse was coming, the 5 cells are contracting. But then what has happened, cells are getting to contract like one unit. They are joining together to contract like an unit. And this can be achieved. Either they all get the nerve supply from the same origin, they all get the fiber or axon, or else they all become one. All these 5 cells, they become one. So all the 5 cells do not contract as 5 cells, they will contract as a single unit. And here begins the concept of syncytial. So that when the nerve impulse comes, all these cells, they contract like a unit. Now, except these fine muscles of the fingers, you will not find these type of independent contractions of the muscles of the back. Either they are contracting all together, or they are relaxing all together. The moment I got up in the morning, these back muscles, my postural muscles, they contract, and that's how I am this posture. The moment I lie down, I make my back relaxed. These muscles, they relax. So when they contract all of them together. Similarly, in the crude muscles, for example, the biceps or other muscles, triceps or quadriceps, these muscles, they also do not contract. For example, they don't contract few now, then more and more. I know, different strength can be achieved, but still, independent cell, it is better that they can contract like one unit rather than independent single nucleated cell. And therefore, is the origin of the word, which word? Syncytial or syncytial, right? It means the cells are fused together. Syn means fused and cyto means cell. Okay, bachcho? So only remember, skeletal muscle fibers are syncytial, the cardiac muscles are not, and similarly the smooth muscles are not like that. Another point here is, if you see the smooth muscle fibers, they are not cylindrical. The smooth muscle fibers are like this. This means they are spindle shaped. The smooth muscle fibers are spindle shaped. Now this is the structure of a skeletal muscle. The fibers are cylindrical, and the smooth muscle fibers are spindle shaped. And now the cardiac muscle fibers are also cylindrical, with one difference. Can you notice a difference? Can you notice this difference in the cardiac muscle fiber, which is not there in the other muscle? Can you notice the difference? Tell me two differences of the cardiac muscle fiber from the skeletal muscle. Tell me two differences of the cardiac muscle fiber from the skeletal muscles. Okay, so this is a junction between the two cells, and from here another cell has begun. Now this is another cell begins from here, another cell begins from here. Okay, so now you can make out the 3 type of muscles in the body. The 3 type of muscles. We have the skeletal muscles. Okay, these are skeletal, and these are the visceral visceral, and these are cardiac muscles. Cardiac muscles. Be ready with your answer. I am now checking your answer. Cardiac muscle have only one nucleus. Very good, very good. And yeah, very good. Two differences. And really, Uday, I'm very happy. And I think more than one. Yes, Samsung, Realme person, Varshika, very good. Parvati, very good. The shape is, in fact, they are very good. Yes, they are cylindrical. That is common to them. Yes, Kovida, very good, Kovida. And yes, Catherine, very good. One nucleus and Dinesh Reddy, yes, you find them correct. They are branched. The fibers are branched and not multinucleated. So only multinucleate out of the three is the skeletal, and only branched out of the three is cardiac. The only multinucleated out of the three is skeletal. The only branched out of the three is cardiac. Yes, the shape is both are. Now let us note down all these points. So they are cylindrical. They are cylindrical and unbranched. Unbranched. The shape here is spindle shaped. They are spindle shaped. Any idea and any other name of the spindle shape? And these are cylindrical and branched. Cylindrical and branched. And these are the cylindrical and unbranched. And not to forget, they have dark and light bands. Dark and light bands are there. That is to be understood. They have got dark and there are no dark and light bands here. And here also you can make out the dark and light bands. Here also you can make out the dark and light bands. Another thing that you make out here is a special area in the muscle, and this area is, I'll try to color this with the BJP color, the color which I am wearing also, okay, with no relation to BJP whatsoever. Now this area, this is a special region, in these muscles, a special region, a very important and very specialized region of the two cell and the junction between the two cell. Now the junction between the two cell, there are some fusion points. Now if you see the membrane is fused at many places. I repeat, the membrane of the two cell fused at many places. And these fusion points, at these fusion points, it is like a single membrane between the two cells. You will find some little rundrum, little apertures, little junctions, gap junctions. You will find little gap junctions in between the two cells. You will find little gap junctions in between the two cells. Please, bachcho, focus here. Please focus. Now, between the two cells, you will find some gap junctions. Some gap junctions are there. Some junctions are there. These are really gaps. They are the real gaps through which the two cells communicate with each other. These are special cell junctions. They are special cell junctions called gap junctions. What they are called? Gap junctions. Special cell junctions, they are called gap junctions. If it is going little higher for you guys, you can tell me to just slow down. I will slow down. Slow down means I will slow down the content, not the pace. Pace already I am very optimal. Tell me, bachcho, you are getting, you are understanding. Gap junction, slow down, Vardhan, slow down, okay. Please, any gap junction once again, okay. I'll say the gap junctions once again. Angel, slow down, sure. In new NCERT biology book, there is no topic of animal tissue. Have to buy that book or not? No, you have to buy the book. You have to buy the book by any means. Animal tissues are not there, I know. Therefore, very basic knowledge about the animal tissues, you can take it from what I am telling you. And this is my purpose of starting this topic in the very beginning. Okay? Okay. So there are gap junctions, which are specialized cell junctions. They are gap junctions, which are specialized cell junctions. My dear bachon, there are many, there are many requests which people have said that, sir, please start with the animal kingdom, because animal kingdom, we have done it in class 10th also. Animal kingdom, you have a prior knowledge, and many of you have already started reading about the animal kingdom. Well, after the animal tissue, the planning was to take the individual phylum in detail. Let me just complete this matter, and then I will see the track sheet, and accordingly I will take my decision. Okay, so I'll just slow down a little. Meanwhile, you can just notice the three type of cells. These are the three type of muscles. The three type of muscles. Okay, these are the skeletal, visceral, and cardiac. Skeletal are attached to the skeleton. Visceral, they form the wall of the hollow organs, and cardiac form the wall of the heart. So they are attached to the skeleton. They are attached to skeleton. Attached to skeleton. Visceral, they form the wall of hollow organs, and cardiac, they form the wall of heart. Okay, so this is, understand, it is heart. When I say hollow organs, I refer to stomach. Example, stomach, intestines. What other example? Urinary bladder, etc. Blood vessels also, Just note it down and then learn it. First thing is, if you don't understand in biology, the first step should be learning it. Then blood vessels. This is attached to the skeleton. Humans have an endoskeleton made up of bones and cartilage. Now, when the contraction takes place, the skeletal muscles, they contract and they cause movement at the joint, okay? So they cause voluntary movements at joints. At the joints. I am writing with the help of this voluntary movement only. Voluntary, I am thinking, and then I am directing my muscles of my hand to contract in a specialized manner, special manner, so that I can make these strokes on the screen. Not too hard and not too light also, required strokes. So here they are involuntary muscles. So contraction will cause the movement of the food in the alimentary canal. So here the contraction, movement of food or bolus in alimentary canal. And cardiac muscle, it helps in the movement or contraction. Contraction causes heartbeat. Okay, I think there is no problem in understanding the 3 points. There is no problem. The three type of muscles, how they look like, what are they called, and then what do they do? Also, you can see what do they do. I hope, bachcho, you can all understand this one. Skeletal muscles. Can you tell me alternate name of skeletal muscles, bachcho? Tell me the alternate name of skeletal muscles. Okay, so I want the answer from you guys, Sanjeev, Nirmal, but don't do like that. Yes, skeletal ka alternate name, voluntary muscles and striated muscle. Very good. Very good. They can also be called as voluntary muscle, or they can be called as striated muscle. Very, very good. Similarly, tell me the alternate name of visceral muscles. Alternate, yes, they can be called as smooth muscles or involuntary. Very good. As you can remember, smooth muscles, smooth muscle or involuntary muscles. Involuntary muscles. Okay, can you tell me the cardiac muscle, bachon? Cardiac muscle, they have only one name. Cardiac muscle are not having. I yesterday told you they don't mess with the heart, and similarly don't mess with the terminology of the heart muscle. So cardiac muscle, they look like skeletal and function like visceral. They look like skeletal and function like visceral. So remember that statement about the cardiac muscle. Even these days also this question has been asked in the NEET examination. Out of the three type of fibers, just record this in the mind. Just have a look at this in the mind. Just record the look of the screen in the mind. Now tell me, out of the three, which one is branched fibers? Okay, so out of the three, which one has branched fibers? Which one has branched fibers? Which one has spindle shaped, or we can call it fusiform. Okay, which one of the three they is multinucleated condition, or another word, syncytial, multinucleated syncytial. Come on, branched कौन सा है बेटा? Branched आंसर, फर्स्ट वाले का आंसर बोलो. Cardiac, very good, cardiac. Yes, cardiac, visceral, skeletal. Some people are smarter, they have already written all the three answers. And here is cardiac, this one is cardiac, and this one is visceral, and this one is skeletal. Okay, skeletal muscles. Very good. And when we are eating the skeletal muscles. So mostly when we eat the meat of a goat, we are actually eating the skeletal muscles of the goat. Okay, bachcho. So this is all about the muscles. Muscular tissue is mesodermal in origin and the heaviest tissue in the body. At a given point of time, muscular tissue will get the maximum oxygen from the blood. In fact, maximum proportion of the blood is being received by the muscular tissue, right? Maximum proportion of the blood is received by the muscular tissue, followed by the kidneys, followed by the brain, right? So you know this order: maximum in one tissue which receives the oxygen and the blood supply is the muscular tissue. Well, bachcho, I think this is the primary information I wanted to share with you, and this is all about the muscular tissue. If you have any doubt till here, you can tell me, or else you can just tell me the neural tissue. The neural tissue forms the nervous system. It is also called the nervous tissue. Can you tell me the origin, embryonic origin? Come on, guys. Embryonic origin of neural tissue. Ectoderm. Very good. Ectoderm. If I disable all the chat, you will feel bad. I'm talking to the YouTube people. One or two personal talks, but then continuously, beta, this is not good. This is ectoderm. Ectodermal. Origin is ectodermal. Neural tissue, this is the only tissue which increase our body's responsiveness to any stimuli. Okay, so this tissue is responsible for this tissue is responsible for body's responsiveness to stimuli. Any change in the surrounding is called stimuli. This tissue is responsible for body's responsiveness to any stimuli whatsoever, to any stimuli. Now try to understand. Now you know that whenever I'm thinking about what to write, I know some content is there, I have to tell. Now, whatever I think and decide that I have to tell you, that content information is sent to the area which can send voluntary signal to my skeletal muscle. And accordingly, my skeletal muscles are, working contracting in such a way I can make the strokes on the board. This, so I just now discussed also. Now, when I think that I have to ask this question, probably students know this answer or they should know the answer, I will ask you. When I have thrown that question to you, then I wait. Okay, so I have given that question to you, then I wait. I wait to listen to the answer, but in this class, I can only read your responses, right? I can see, and then I register that, and similarly, I am doing the shout out also that I got, yes, this he has written the correct answer. I also wait for the YouTube people to answer, and then I will shout out the name. After that, I will say the answer loudly to everyone, right? Similarly, you are seeing, first of all, you are listening to the voice that is going to your ears. From the ear, the signal goes to your brain, and the brain is registering what does these syllables mean. If we say e, what these have meaning, your brain is registering, and this meaning that the brain has drawn depends on your past learning. Therefore, the languages you are trained for, you can understand. If I say in English, you understand. If I somehow say in Telugu, you can understand. If I say in Hindi, you can understand, right? But if I say in Japanese, only your Japanese teacher can understand little bit, but usually we don't. We are not. Right. So what I'm saying that depending upon your prior learning, you are understanding the syllables. What does the mean, right? And accordingly, you will try to recall from your database. कि यार ये हमें पता है. He has asked about the only multinucleate muscle. Let us check it. This information is there in our database or not? And your database says yes, this information is there. And the only multinucleate muscle is the skeletal muscle. And then you just type that. In typing also very, very precise. You know that which word, order of which word can give the same meaning. And how to type. Because, okay, typewriter is one. But then if the touch panel is there, then how to touch that, and if mistakenly any key is pressed, then you go back and then retype that. You understand? Such a classical micro level transfer of the signals is going on. Whatever I explained, I have given only 1% of what is happening really when we are doing our day-to-day task. And not only learning, every task, my dear friend, every task. It is our body's responsiveness to the stimuli. Now, what is a stimuli? Stimuli is a singular, it is a plural word for stimulus. Stimulus. What is the word? Stimulus. Plural, stimuli. Plural, stimuli. Definition means it is any change in our surrounding. Any change in our surrounding is a stimulus. For example, like your eardrum was not vibrating till you hear the sound in your earphone or headphone, or through your speaker, the vibrations of air are traveling. Now, this is a change in your surrounding, vibrations of the air, and then you are responding to it by understanding what the sound, the voice mean. So this change in your surrounding means the sound wave is a stimulus. Similarly, you are seeing your screen. Now, the light rays reflecting from the board, reflecting from me and adjoining part of my studio. That light ray is a stimulus for you. In fact, many stimuli are there for you, and then you are understanding it. You are responding to it. You are responding to it, understanding it, answering it, or maybe noting down the things. So many responses that you are registering. Getting my point, right? Any change in the surrounding, if there is suppose if you get an injury, God forbid, if you get an injury, that is again a change in your surrounding. So that injury is a stimulus. And not only injury, even the touch feel, the feel of this marker, the touch feel of the marker is a stimulus to my brain, because any change in the surrounding. Right now, my skin is not feeling anything, but the moment I have taken this marker, this has become one stimulus, and as per the definition, this is a change in the surrounding. So any change, not only external, even internal. Not only external, even internal, right? Internal, suppose if your stomach has too much of hot food or too much of acidic food, right? And your nerves, they become excited and taking the signal to your brain, and they are sending the signal that you are having hyperacidity. Some people have pain. Some people have pain in the stomach, pain in the lower abdomen. By contraction, spasmodic contraction of the smooth muscles, spasmodic contractions, right? So this pain is a stimulus. यहाँ पे stimulus क्या है? Pain signal. Pain is a stimulus. It is a change in the surrounding. It is a change in the surrounding. What is surrounding? What is a stimulus? How to define a stimulus as a pain in the surrounding? Actually, every pain is carried by the pain receptors and the afferent nerve. The nerve, sensory nerve or afferent nerve, right? Now, this is taking the signal from around the receptor. Now, if the receptor in the surrounding of the receptor, any change happens, then only the receptor will become excited. And if it happen to be a pain receptor and any signal it gets from outside, this is equivalent to a stimulus. So basic definition of a stimulus is any change in the surrounding. Let me write it, stimulus, okay? Stimulus is singular and stimuli is plural. And the meaning of stimulus is any change in the surroundings. Any change in the surroundings. Understanding or not? Simple hai? Simple, got it? Simple. Basic definition, general definition. This word stimulus will be there in many chapters and many times in a chapter. So this word has to be clearly understood. And once you get some examples, then you always remember. So there is no problem in understanding the stimulus. Okay, done. Bachcho, neural tissue, this is important, this is ectodermal tissue. It is mainly made up of two types of cells. So the cell type, it is mainly made up of two types of cells. The main cell is neuron, and the other one are the supporting cells. Supporting cells, and supporting cells are not unimportant. In fact, more than 50% of volume of the neural tissue, volume of neural tissue is by the supporting cells. Supporting cells make up more than 50% of the volume of the neural tissue. The main cell in the neural tissue is the neuron. Neuron or the nerve cell is the basic unit of neural tissue. This is the basic unit of neural tissue. The point clear to everyone? Neuron. It is an elongated cell. Normally, when something cell word come to our mind, we understand to be a spherical or somewhat ovoid structure. But this is not like that. In fact, primarily it is like that, but from it, so many projections are coming out. Yes, you are right. Yes, you are right. Very good. Yes, some people have identified a neuron. So let me make the cell. This is the primary cell. It has one nucleus, a single nucleus. Okay, very good. But then there are many, out of this, there are many such, we can say, projections. These are protoplasmic projections. What are these? These are the projections of the cell. And what I call them? I call them protoplasmic projections. Once again, what you are seeing these are protoplasmic projections. It is not necessary that the cell is having its boundary without any modification. For example, what you see here is one such modification. What you see here is one such modification. So these are projections of the protoplasm. Protoplasm means the living content of the cell is called the protoplasm. One of them is the longest projection. One of them is the longest projection. Out of the others, one of them is the longest projection. So this is the main cell body. This is the main cell body. Cell body, the main cell body. These are the smaller projections, and this one is the longest projection. This one is the longest projection. Sometimes this is even a meter long. How much? Even a meter long. Yes, you heard it right. This is the longest projection. Sometimes this is as long as a meter. This is the longest projection. Let us name them. The smaller projections are called, yes, dendrites. Dendrites. The cell body is called cyton. Cyton. Another name, soma. Soma means body. So you can simply call it cell body, cyton or soma. The longest projection, any idea what this longest projection can be called? The longest projection is called the axon. The longest projection is called axon. 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 One cell, one neuron has one cell body and one axon. One neuron has a single cell body and one axon, but it may have more than one dendrite. It may have one dendrite, it may have no dendrite, one dendrite, or more than one dendrites. It may have no dendrite, one dendrite, or more than one dendrites, depending upon what the type of neuron it is. Axon and cyton are usually 1-1. in a neural cell. Often you will find some granules. So the cytoplasm is granular. You see, the cytoplasm is granular. These granules are absent in the axon. Where they are absent? They are absent in the axon. Is it important to know? Absolutely important to know. This is absolutely important to know. I repeat, I am saying these granules are absent in the axon. These granules are being named after a scientist. The name of the scientist is Nissl. 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 So we can call it as apostrophe S, Nissl's granules. Nissl's granules. Anyone who know about Nissl granules? Ever you have heard about the word Nissl granules? So first thing to know here is this is a specialty of a neuron, and the second thing to know is it is absent in the axon. I'll write it down. See? In the axon, no Nissl granules. Very, very important. Very, very important. Come on, guys. Come on. Have you heard about this? Have you heard about this? No, not heard. So you are learning it today. You are learning it today. Nissl granules. Nissl granules. Some people have heard it. Nissl granules. Nissl granules. And these are special granules. They are made up of RNA and they help in protein synthesis. So they are especially found in the neurons only. They are only found in the neurons. Nissl granules. Nissl granules. They are made up of ribosomes. Ribosomes is one of the cell organelle. Nissl granules are present in the dendrites. They are very much present in the dendrites, but they are absent in the axon. Now, the nerve signal or the electric current travel in this direction. Please note down, the electric current travels in this direction. The electric current travels in this direction. The electric current travels in this direction. That means away from the cell body. It means away from the cell body. The electric current, okay, away from the cell body. It is moving in one direction always, away from the cell body. Please note it down. If you are making a diagram, you can please make these arrows. Very, very important to make the direction of the arrows. What are the direction for? The direction are for direction of nerve impulse. What is a nerve impulse? Nerve impulse is electric potential or electric current traveling in the neurons, and it is this only, this electric current, the signal is traveling in the neurons. The signal is traveling in the neurons with the help of this only. And lastly, please note down, at many times you will find that this neuron, axon part of the neuron is having a cellular layer around a cell. A cell is making it like a roll. The cell is embracing the axon part, and this cell is a special cell. I'll name this cell, but before that I'll just try to make it how it look like, this cell. Okay, so this cell is a special cell which is forming the covering around the axon. The special cell that forms the covering around the axon. It forms the covering around the axon. That means you can only see the axon, which means you are only seeing the axon at these places, at these points. Otherwise, the other part of the axon is hidden by the wrapping of the cell. The cell, okay? The cell is called Schwann cell. The cell is called Schwann cell. What's called? Schwann. The cell is called Schwann cell. Schwann. Schwann. Schwann cell. I'll show it is a cell, bachon. It is a cell. I can show the nuclei of the cell. I can show the nuclei. These are the Schwann cell. I'll write it Schwann. Schwann cells. These are the Schwann cells. Around the axon, they are only found around the axon. They are only found around the axon, and they are covering. I'll make this one. So ये अपन green ही बनाना पड़ेगा. So not to get confused, it is a different. At that time, my color was not working. Okay, bachon. So the Schwann cell, and these what you see, these are simply called axon terminal or terminals. Axon terminals. Axon terminals. This branching that you see at the end of the axon is called axon terminals. Somewhat, this is a structure of a nerve cell. Once again, try to understand, bacho. This is a cell called a Schwann cell. Let us take a transfer section. Now, you have to apply you have to think and tell me. I can only say apply brain. You're already applying the brain. You cannot keep the brain aside. Brain is something which can never be kept aside. The more you try to keep it aside, the more it is involved. Okay. What I'm trying to say to you, when I say apply your brain, I mean focus. Okay. So just transfer section. Focus here. Focus. Transfer section. See the color. The green color is used for the Schwann cell. The white color is used for the axon. Okay. So we will maintain the same color. So I'll draw it here. Okay. I'll draw it here. Okay. Try to understand. This is the cut section of the axon. Cut section of axon. This is which cell is this? Schwann cell. Schwann cell is enclosing this axon. This is Schwann cell enclosing. It is really a cell. You can imagine the cell to be like a chapati pindi. Okay, so when you have a chapati pindi, like round pindi, you can make it you can make it flat. You have to turn it into flat thing, and then you can take this marker and just roll it around it. So the chapati pindi has been rolled. Now chapati pindi, initially I took it as a spherical thing. So first, to roll around this, I have to make it flatter. Same thing nature is doing. A cell, nature make it flat and then rolled around the axon. Now this is going to make a very important layer around the axon, a very important. I'll tell you the importance, then you will realize how important is this simple cell, how important is this. Okay, I'll tell you. So before that, one more thing to understand. This is doing that function, and besides that, it is also doing one more function. This cell, it is also doing one more function, and the function is to make a phospholipid. It makes a phospholipid which is called sphingomyelin. It makes a phospholipid called sphingomyelin, and that sphingomyelin can be found. The sphingomyelin can be found around this in the form of layer upon layer. This is a phospholipid. The phospholipid called sphingomyelin, and with the help of this phospholipid, there is an insulation. Remember, unlike the electrical wire where we have PVC insulation, here PVC insulation is not there. In fact, this sphingomyelin, insulation by sphingomyelin is there. Okay, so let me first label all the structure. This is your axon, This is your axon. This cell is called the Schwann cell. This is Schwann, Schwann cell, and this is a phospholipid. And what is the name of the phospholipid? We can call it as sphingomyelin. There is a sheath formed by the sphingomyelin. A sheath. Sheath means covering. Sheath is sphingomyelin. It is a phospholipid, a compound which helps in insulation. Sphingomyelin, it helps in insulation. It helps in insulation. Helps in insulation. Insulation of axon, and therefore can increase the speed of conduction. Therefore can increase the speed of conduction. I will not writing it here to make it unnecessary complicated. I'll tell it in a different place, but right now you can just think and focus here. इसको बनाओ पूरा, ठीक है. Sphingomyelin, it is a bigger name, na? Isn't a bigger name? Isn't a bigger name? Come on, guys. The bigger name is sphingomyelin. Let us make it a short one. Make it abbreviated. What we can call it now? Myelin. We can call this myelin. Big word, short mein kar diya. Myelin. And the sheath. Sheath means one is a sheet. S-H-E-A-T. This is not sheet. It is sheath. S-H-E-A-T-H. It means covering. Covering. Sheath means covering. This sphingomyelin sheath can be called as the myelin sheath. I can call this one as, simply I can call this as myelin sheath. This is called myelin, in short, myelin, and S-H-E-A-T-H. Myelin sheath. Myelin sheath. This is called myelin sheath, but this is made by myelin sheath, and this myelin sheath is synthesized. It is synthesized by dash cell. Come on, very important question. It is synthesized by dash cell. It's a very utterly important question. Tell me, answer. The myelin sheath is synthesized by which cell? Come on. Yes, bachon. Can I see the answer? Yes, you are writing correctly. And let me see. No, nerve cell, nahi beta. Nerve cell, no, not nerve cell. It is something which is helping the nerve cell. And which is helping the nerve cell? The cell which supports the nerve cell. Come on. Yes, you are right. It is the Schwann cell. Not the nerve cell, but the Schwann cell. Yes. So both places I can see the correct answer. And the correct answer is the Schwann cell. Perfectly correct. Schwann. S-C-H-W-A-N-N. Schwann cell, bachon. Schwann cell. Okay. I hope you understand this. S-C-H-W-A-N-N. Schwann cell. And there are a couple of functions. Number one, it is doing the work of insulation. So electrical wires are insulated by PVC covering, PVC sheath, and here it is insulated by a phospholipid, a lipid. Lipid means a fat type of compound, fat type of chemical. And so one is insulation. The second most important here is that it is increasing the speed of conduction. So the current can flow at a much faster speed. Because of the myelin, the speed can increase up more than 10 times. If without a myelin, the speed is 10 meters per second. How much? 10 meters per second. And with a myelin speed, 110 meters per second. How much? 110 meters per second. So more than 10 times. Speed of the conduction can increase more than 10 times with the help of this myelin sheath. A very important function. Now, I want you to focus on this cell, and I said that this cell is a very important cellular support around this axon. One of the work it is doing is making the myelin. This cell is Schwann cell. this making the myelin, and another thing it is doing, it is forming a neurolemma, a sort of a membrane around the axon. It is forming the neurolemma, a sort of a membrane around the axon. I mean to say, okay, for example, I'll give you two options. I'll give you two options. In one of the option, this is one, okay? This is surrounded by Schwann cell, okay? This is surrounded by Schwann cell. Please stop. Surrounded by Schwann cell. क्या है यार? Stop listening. So this Schwann cell is around this. The other possibility is another cell. And this cell can be making it make. Now this cell is also making the same myelin. Here the myelin is formed by Schwann cell in these neurons. So these are the Schwann cells, and they are synthesizing myelin sheath. They are synthesizing myelin sheath. Another possibility is this is the axon, and these are another type of cells, another type of glial cells, and they are also forming the myelin sheath. The myelin is synthesized by another type of cells. As you can see here, the cell, I have shown the cell. This is myelin sheath. And there is no Schwann cell. In fact, this cell, it is a glial cell or a supporting cell. It is one of the supporting cell, another supporting cell. This is another supporting cell synthesizes myelin sheath. Another supporting cell synthesizes myelin sheath. This type is present in our nerves, and in our nerves you find this type, whereas in the brain and spinal cord you find this type. So this is brain and spinal cord. In brain and spinal cord, and this is in nerves, This is in the nerves. Not to forget, this is a myelinated neuron. It is a myelinated neuron. Both are myelinated neuron. I hope you have noted it down. Both are myelinated neuron. Schwann cells are secreting the myelin, and another place there is no Schwann cell, and therefore there is no such covering. Here, so we can see this covering. That means if I take a section, if I see the transverse section, I will see something like this. This is the axon, and this is Schwann cell. Bachon, this is a Schwann cell. Axon, and this is flattened Schwann cell, okay? And what I am now making, Tell me what I am now making. Only focused people can answer this. Only people who are focused can answer this. What I am now making? Layers upon layers, layers upon layers. What I am now making? Yes, guys, I am making the phospholipid myelin sheath. Very good. I am making the myelin sheath. This is the transverse section of the axon, and this is Schwann, this is dash cell, Schwann cell, and this is axon, and the orange color, this is myelin. This is the myelin sheath. This is dash sheath. Here also, layer upon layer of myelin sheath, but made by a different type of supporting cell. Whatever you can understand here, please understand. And then I'm now going to tell you the importance of this. You might have seen that, first of all, you know that the neurons, there is no such, they never divide. The nerve cells, they never divide. Once they are dead forever. We have heard about that. We have heard if the neuron dies, it is died forever, right? They never divide. Nerve cells never divide. There is no healing in the nerve cells. There is no healing. But here comes a small modification in what knowledge you have. And the modification is that, I'll come to the node of Ranveer Joshik. Please listen to this very important fact, because you may not get this fact directly from your books. So please make me understand, make me explain it to you, right? So, but there is some regeneration possible in the neurons. Well, if the cell body degenerates, there is no power on the earth which can regenerate this neuron. If the cell body degenerates, if this part degenerates, cell body, there is no power on the earth which can revive this neuron. But if this happened to cut, if you make a cut here, then chances are there that if the cell body is intact, it can make this one once again. It can form the axon once again at a very, very slow rate, but it can regenerate. This type of special regeneration is called Wallerian regeneration. Okay, and you will read about this in your MBBS, or maybe when you do in neurology, when you do neurosciences, then you know about this fact. Right now, you have seen news articles around you that person got injured, and a fast-running car. The child was waving the hand outside, and a fast-running car has cut off the arm. But the special doctors of Mumbai, they are so smart that they could join the hand, and today that hand, 60% of the work that hand is doing, which they have joined. Now, hand comprises of not only bone, muscles, blood vessels, and most important, nerves. And these are the nerves who are carrying the signal from the brain to these muscles, and therefore I am making fine movement in my muscle to write. I know, just wait, right? To write, I am making fine movement. The signal is coming from my brain. The signal is going to my arm, and all the nerves are carrying the signal to each and every muscle on the skin, or in the arm, to each and every muscle. So the muscle to flex the elbow, the muscle to abduct the shoulder, the muscle to flex the wrist, the muscle to flex these fingers. All these works are being done because of the muscle, and only when the muscle gets the signal through the nerve. But if you cut the nerve, they will not get a signal. Maybe a person is thinking in the mind to write, but the hand is not even moving at all. So today the hand can lift heavy weights. Tomorrow, if that cut is there, the hand cannot lift even a feather. Right, that is the importance of the nerve supply to individual muscle. And when the nerve supply is cut, that condition, you might have heard that the word is there called paralysis. So what will happen? A paralysis will happen if the nerve supply is cut. Okay, understood. But thanks to this special type of regeneration, and this is the reason, if the doctors have really stitched it properly, and if they have stitched this covering around very properly, they have joined this covering around very properly, then inside this sleeve, the neuron can really grow at a very slow rate, but this can grow and can complete the regeneration. But what about here? Here there is no such sheath now. There is no such sleeve. So if the neuron is cut or damaged, it is damaged forever. So inside the brain and spinal cord, you might have read about the news article that a famous gymnast, a very famous gymnast who has won so many, the gold medal in 1998 में हुआ था ओलंपिक्स और 96 में हुआ था ओलंपिक्स, right? So many gold medal. And today, he cannot even control his urine. What happened? He just fall down. A bad fall on the back. A bad fall. And this has broken some bones in the vertebral column as a result. In the vertebral column, as a result, the spinal cord is damaged. And because of that, the signal to his lower limbs not going. Because of that, he is not having a voluntary control on his the abdomen function, like urination, like defecation. I hope you understand the word defecation. Controlling our poop, urination, controlling the flow of urine. He does not have a control. He always sit on a wheelchair, although he has bought a best wheelchair because of his too much of dollars he had. But all those dollars cannot bring him his nervous system back. And why, if any damage happens to the spinal cord, why those neurons cannot ever regenerate? They cannot regenerate because there is no such covering around them. There is no such sheath around them. And with this note, my class is over, guys. I'll be moving to, I think, tomorrow we will meet and then we will decide what to do. My time is up. God bless you. Take the screenshot, guys. Take the screenshot. ASAP, take the screenshot. They are going to delete this very soon. Take the screenshot. One more chance. Take the screenshot. Last 4 or 5 classes, in fact more than that, I'm preparing a PDF file. I'll be sharing with you the PDF file, combined PDF file. Like all that you can see is like this. So you can recall what the sir has taught on that day. With this note, my class is over. God bless you. Let's meet on the next turn. Hope I was able to make you understand. I tried and I will try even more to make you understand. Till everyone sitting out there, not only the top 10 or top 20 guys, till everyone sitting out there, his or her time is utilized the most optimal way. All the best. Bye-bye. Take care. Class है कोई?
Wait, sir.
Waiting.